Hello and welcome. We are still on moment area method, and we are looking at some work examples on moment area method. All right. Now the example on the board is nothing but example number 10, and we are looking at a cantilever. All right. So the example says a cantilever 10 mm wide and 200 mm deep is loaded as shown below. All right. This is the cantilever. Now this cantilever, we are asked to find the slope and deflection at the free end. All right, at the free end A. All right, so let's rename our beam. All right, let's call this place A. All right, let's call this place A, and let's call this place B. All right, so the free end is A and the fixed end is B. So we are asked to what? To find the slope and the deflection at the free end. We're given E to be equals to 2.1 times 10 to the power of 8 kilonewton per meter square. All right. So now let's attempt solving this question. All right. The first thing we are going to be doing is calculating our moments of inertia. All right. So this is solution. Now we were given a cantilever of what? Of 100 mm width. All right, this is 100 mm width. All right, so our breadth is equals to 100 mm. We need our units in meter to be able to calculate. All right, so we convert all our units to millimeter. So converting 100 mm to meter, you divide by what? By 1000. This will be equal to 0.1 meter. All right. Now we have 200 mm depth. All right. So our depth is equals to 200 millimeter. If you divide by 1000, this will be equal to 0.2 meter. All right. This is what we have, and that's all. We are asked to calculate slope and deflection at the free end. All right. So calculating moment of inertia first. Since we are given width and what and depth, you are supposed to know that this the section of this moment of this beam is nothing but what? A rectangular section. And how do we calculate moment of inertia for a rectangular section? The formula is what? I equals to BD cubed all over what? All over 12, where B is what? The width, and what? D is the depth. All right. So I is equals to BD cubed all over what? All over 12. All right. So these are value for I. Now let's substitute. We have I equal to what? Our B is nothing but what? 0.1 multiplied by our depth, which is 0.2 all to the power of 3 all over what? All over 12. This is very simple. Press into your calculator, you will discover that your moment of inertia I will be equal to 6.666 times 6.666 times 10 to the power of what? 6.666 times 10 to the power of minus 5 meter to the power of 4. All right. So we have I to be equal to 6.666 times 10 to the power of what? Of minus 5 meter to the power of 4. All right. This is what we have for our moment of inertia. Now, how do we calculate the slope? We want to calculate the slope first. All right. At what? At A. All right. So we can just say slope at A. So we have number 1, slope at what? At A. How do we get the slope at A? Now this is a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load at a distance, all right, of 1 meter from what? From the free end. All right. Now in our previous video, most especially on double integration method, we have looked at a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load over its whole span. All right, over its whole span, and we have derived the relation for slope, maximum slope and maximum deflection. Also on double integration method, using double integration method rather, we have looked at a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load at a distance what? A. All right, from the fixed end. So what we are going to be doing basically, in order to get the deflection, the slope rather, due to what? This uniformly distributed load, we are going to minus the slope due to a uniformly distributed load at a distance A from the fixed end from a uniformly distributed load all over the whole span of a cantilever. All right. So basically, this is what we are going to be doing in order to get the slope at A. All right, we are going to be minusing the slope due to what? A uniformly distributed load at a distance A from the fixed end from the slope, all right, due to a uniform distributed load over the whole span of the beam. All right, so I'm going to be drawing two diagrams here to show you how we are to further explain how we can do this better. So everything I've been explaining is what we have on the board here. All right, so the explanation of how we are going to get the slope at A is what we have on the board here. We are going to minus, all right, now we need a minus sign here. All right, now we are going to minus a cantilever, all right, with a uniform distributed load at a distance what? A from what? From the fixed end, from a cantilever with a uniform distributed load over its whole span. All right, when we minus this, we are going to get this, which is same as our question here. All right, so what we need now is the deflection, the slope equation we got here when we consider this case, and the slope equation we got here. All right, so if we minus this slope equation from this one, we are going to get this. So that's basically all we need to do, and these cases have been considered in our previous video. We have proved all the relations for what? For slope. All right, now for a cantilever, all right, with a uniform distributed load over its whole length, we got the slope to be nothing but what? Minus WL, all right, minus WL to the power of 3 all over 6 EI. All right, so our theta A, all right, our theta A will be equal to, we have theta A equals to minus WL to the power of 3 all over 6 EI. All right, this is the slope equation when we considered a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load over its whole span. All right, now this will be minus a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load at a distance what? A from its fixed end. All right, now when we consider this case, we got our slope equation to be nothing but minus WA to the power of 3 all over 6 EI. So we have minus WA all to the power of 3 all over 6 EI. All right, so this is what we have. Now if we minus this from this, we will get what? This, which is our question here. So it's very simple. All right, so this is what we have. So now we are going to be substituting our values into this equation. All right, now before we substitute our values, take note, this is nothing but what? This is nothing but 4 kilonewton per meter. This is a partial load. All right, it is uniformly distributed, so we need to convert it to a point load. How do we do that? We multiply 4 by 1. All right, we know that W, all right, W is equals to, let's put it down here, W is equal to 4 kilonewton per meter. All right, and we also know that W, which is what? Full load or total load, is equals to what? Partial load, that is the UDL multiplied by what? Multiplied by L. All right, our UDL is 4, our length is 1, so W will be equals to what? 4 times 1, which is equals to what? 4 kilonewton. All right, so in place of W here, we will use 4 kilonewton. So I hope you get the logic. So that's all we need. We can now proceed to solve for what? Our slope at A. All right, so our slope at A will be equals to, we have a minus, all right, minus W, which is 4, minus 4 multiplied by L. Our L is what? The total length of the beam is 2. We have 2 to the power of 3 all over what? All over 6 multiplied by E. Our E is 2.1 times 10 to the power of what? Of 8. All right, multiply by, now we can decide to multiply by 10 to the power of 3 here for kilonewton, and also multiply by 10 to the power of 3 here. They are going to cancel out, so no need to add kilonewton to 4, and no need to add kilonewton to your modulus of elasticity. They are going to cancel out, so this is multiplied by I directly. So I is 6.666 times 10 to the power of minus 5. All right, so Minus multiplied by minus is plus. We have plus, right? Let's come down here. We have plus w, which is 4, all right, multiply by, we are still not going to multiply by 10 to the power of 3 because we have e here and e has 10 to the power of 3, so they will both cancel out. So we have multiply by a. Our a is 1 meter, multiply by 1 to the power of 3, all over what? All over 6, multiply by 2.1 times 10 to the power of 8 times 6.666 times 10 to the power of minus 5. All right, so this is what we have. This is what we have. Now we are going to be solving this. All right, so if you solve this and add your results with what we have here, you have your um you have your slope at a to be equals to minus 0 point what 0.00333, and your result will be what? In radian. All right, so theta a will be equal to minus 0.000333 radian. All right, this is what we have as our slope at a. All right, so it is not difficult, like I explained earlier. All you just need to know is the formula for a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load over its whole span, then the formula for a cantilever with a uniformly distributed load at a distance what? A from the fixed end. So when you minus the first from the second, you get what? You get what we have here. All right, this is the diagrammatical explanation of what we have of the question, and this is what the mathematical expression. So it is very, very simple. You have to ensure you follow our video serially from double integration method even down to this one to get proper understanding of everything. All right, so we just made use of the formula. There was no proving. We have proved in our previous lessons. All right, now to get the deflection at the free end, we have a formula for the deflection at the free end. All right, for the deflection at the free end, the formula is nothing but what? W all over 24 EI into the bracket of what? 3L to the power of 4 minus 4LA to the power of 3 plus A to the power of 3. All right, we have considered this case before, so it has a formula. So just get the formula and substitute into it. But very importantly, you need to know how the formula come about. All right, that is why it's important to watch the previous lessons. All right, so number 2, we are finding what? Our deflection. All right, at what? At point A. All right. So we have deflection at point A. All right, this is the formula for finding deflection at what? At point A for a cantilever that has a uniformly distributed load at a distance A from what? From the free end. All right, so this is the formula. So all we just need to do is to substitute our values into this formula. It has been proven from our previous lessons. So deflection at A will be equal to, I have W, which is 4, multiplied by what? Multiplied by 1. I have 4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 3. But of course, 10 to the power of 3, we go with 10 to the power of 3 from our modulus of elasticity, so we don't need to add that. All right, so this is 4 all over what? 24 multiplied by our E, which is 2.1 times 10 to the power of 8 multiplied by I, which is 6.666 times 10 to the power of minus 5 times 10 to the power of minus 5. All right, then we have the bracket of, this is multiplying the bracket of 3. This is 3. We have L is 2 meters, so 3 multiplied by what? 2 all to the power of 4 minus, I have 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by A to the power of 3. We have A to be 1. All right, 1 to the power of 3 is nothing but what? 1 plus 1 to the power of 3 is 1, so 1 plus 1 is what? Is 2. All right, but here is multiplication, so this is just, this will be plus 1, this will be plus 1. All right, so the one we have here, 1 to the power of 1 is what? 1 to the power of 3 is what? Is 1. 1 multiplied by 4L is 4L, So we have 4 times 2 here, then plus 1. All right. So just do your maths. All right. If you divide this, multiply it with whatever you have from this bracket, you will discover that your result will be nothing but 0.000488 meters. All right. So we have 0.000488 meters. Don't forget our result will be in meters before we convert. So we have YA, that is the deflection at what? At point A, will be equals to 0.000488 meters. All right, so this is what we have. So let's convert it to millimeter. If you multiply by 10 to the power of 3, our YA will be equals to this will be nothing but 0.488 meters, or millimeters rather, millimeters. All right, so this is our deflection. So you need to take note that when we are considering deflections, all we have just done is what is downward deflection. All right, though we didn't put our negative sign, but from the formula we are substituting it as a downward deflection. That is why you don't see the negative sign. All right, so it is a downward deflection, so take note of that. So this is how to approach this particular question, and these are the answers. So we'll be back with example number 11. All right, so be sure to share, be sure to like, and subscribe to get more and more of this. And also, if you are in need of any of these materials, be it on any topic or any of the courses we have considered, all right, so feel free to reach out to us to get your own material on courses under mechanical, civil, electrical, and structural engineering. All right, so we'll be back with example number 11. Until then, thank you for watching.